Treasure is the easiest bastion to recognize and learn to route. In this video, I'll show you how to enter the bastion, locate all the gold and chests you need, and the only route you need to know with variations for beginners and advanced speedrunners. First off, you need to know what you're looking for to identify a treasure bastion. One of the main features is this large cube, which has very tall, flat walls containing the treasure. If you see this, you know it's a treasure bastion because no other bastion has quite this shape. The next unique feature are the lava moats. These will always spawn around the bridge between the two parts of the bastion and have open air above them, even when the surrounding area is buried. The last notable feature is the backside of these tall ramparts, which have 2 block lines directly up it in many spots. The ramparts are always guaranteed to spawn 3 chests, 2 singles and 1 double. The right rampart has the 2 singles, and on the same floor there's a double chest. These ones are usually accessed during your routes, however there's one more with a chance to spawn down near the lava moats. If you look at the bridge from the moats and you see the gold on the right hand side of your screen, go over to the wall and dig in a couple blocks. This chest has a 25% chance of spawning and is very easily accessed at the start of your route if you're coming from the lava moat. It can have gold, obsidian, iron, all things that could help you with the routes that I'm about to show you. The most important part of this route is knowing where all the gold is, as some of it is hidden. There's 2 on this bridge and a lot of it down at the bottom of the cube. However, that wastes a lot of time, so most of the time you run up towards these ramparts. As I mentioned before, 3 floors up have these chests. There's good loot in it, which sometimes are necessary to even do any route. Like for example, if you need iron for a pickaxe, you're not going to be able to mine the gold until you get it. Here I show 2 different spots you can dig through to get through to the other chest. Once again, there's just more loot in here that you could need. Now, if you look at the stairs next to the chests, find a gold block hidden behind the walls. This also applies for the other chests that you've seen on the other rampart. Now, when you mine these, you have to be careful to mine all of the blocks because sometimes the gold pops out the back, which I'll show later. Coming up to the top floor, there's a lot of hidden gold. Not quite on the roof, but just the 1 floor down. Both ramparts have a chance for them to spawn in the same areas. There's 3 in the middle, or chance for 3. This is the 3rd location where I placed the block here, but it's not always there as you can see. Bottom right, you can always remember, a chance for a block there, and then top left. The left side also has a chance for a block buried 2 underneath this area. I'll show you quick ways of getting it up later, but for now, just looking at the other rampart, I'll show you again where the blocks are. So exactly like the right rampart, you can walk across to the left and come down the stairs to the top floor. There's 3 in the middle, there's 1 in the bottom right, and then there's 2 in the left, 1 up top, which in this example is corroded, but it's usually there, and down 2 blocks, there's another one there. Now, sometimes the ramparts won't have enough gold in it, which means you have to go into the treasure cube in order to get the rest of it. The treasure cube houses a lot of gold, but can be very slow if you don't know what you're doing. I'll show you a quick way of getting all this gold later on. There's a few different entry points of this bastion, but they all depend on your nether spawn and the surrounding terrain. If you manage to get on top of the cube, you can drop down to the ledge and start your route from here. You can dig through the back of the cube to get a bunch of gold very quickly. However, keep in mind this is very slow because you have to mine a lot and still pillar your way back up to the pigs. At the very bottom of the rampart side of the bastion, there's an entry point on both sides, which appears as just a little hole in the wall near the lava. This will sometimes be buried or inaccessible, so I wouldn't rely too heavily on this one, but it's good to know about it. This staircase is very long and can sometimes have pigs in it, so I'd be very careful if you don't have any gold armor using this method. This leads you up the staircase near the bridge, and as mentioned before, you can access it from both ramparts. One of the more common starting points in my opinion is this lava moat. For this entry, you want to look for the gold block on the right hand side, like I mentioned before, and look for the lava moat that's touching the wall. Go 2 blocks in and you can start pillaring up from here. This will provide a 1 block gap away so you won't get hit by the piglins if you don't have gold armor on. One reason I like this entry is because you can check this wall here to see if that chest is there that I mentioned before. However, it's not always there, but it's not a massive time loss if you do this entry point. Due to terrain, you won't always get a choice in where you're going to enter the bastion. In an example like this one, we spawn on the back side of the ramparts on top of it already. Instead of risking going down and it possibly being buried, we just enter from the top. This impacts how we start and continue our route, but it can also be very beneficial. In seeds where you don't get enough iron, you can check these chests earlier, which will get you an iron pickaxe. Keep this in mind because the routes I'm about to show you might be heavily impacted and need adjustments based on what you actually have in your inventory. Obviously, this is just a practice, but it's a good example showing you that if I didn't have an iron pick, this would have been the way to go. Okay, I've yapped about the boring stuff long enough. Let me show you the actual cool routes. You only need 1 with an adjustment to that 1. This one's Safe Boomer, which is more beginner friendly. Mine this block so the pigs can't get you, jump on the gold and mine it to collect it. You can sneak to pre-place that block to jump over and quickly place those 2 so the pigs can't get up. This is where you convert your gold to ingots and get ready to jump across. You can also take a second to make gold armor if you haven't already. Come across these blocks and jump up. Mine that block, it's very important for pathing, and then mine this one when you come up. This block isn't technically the right one for safe boomer, but let me show you something after before you guys get at me in the comments. Climb up these stairs and place a block to block the piglins behind you. Mine through this wall and place 2 blocks to connect the 2 ramparts. You can break this block and come up here to make your piglin trading hole. Don't forget to place that block down there and throw the gold in. Now just get the gold blocks from the locations I showed you before. Another thing to note is that the trading hole could have some corrupted blocks near it. If you notice blocks that were missing before jumping up, you want to be sure that you place them down right now. A lot of people have told me it matters which blocks you collect first, so the 3 in the middle are usually done first, and then the 2 on the left, and apparently people just leave these ones on the right until the very last blocks. At this point, you just check the exact same locations in the left rampart. If you need to, rewind the video to the point where I talk about the gold block locations again. To do this block elevator trick, when you mine a block, simply have a different one in your offhand. You can do this by pressing F while hovering the block, and then quickly spam it to get the block to come up to you. Sometimes the block pops out the side holes, however, so it doesn't always work, but it's a quick way of trying to get the block up to you. Once you've collected all the gold, convert it to ingots, and then just chuck it in the pit for the piggies. While the pigs are trading, you can come down and check the chests and get these other 2 blocks near the stairs that I mentioned before. Be careful when you do it, because as you can see, if you don't get close to it, it can fall out the back. You can walk through the hole you made to bridge the ramparts earlier, and I'll show you the correct method here. If you mine all the blocks out and then mine the gold, you can press yourself up against the ledge, and that'll make sure you get the gold block. Now, when you've collected everything, just come on up and you can keep trading with the pigs. To collect your trades, you just mine this block out and press yourself up against the corner. If you still don't have enough trades, you can use this time to just dig a hole in the side here and just start throwing out stuff from your inventory you don't need. You can also pre-craft beds, look for the fortress on the roof, anything that you might need to do. Now I mentioned before this block, the second one that you mine. If you don't break the block, this is what it looks like with the piggies down below. It severely impacts their pathing and you'll have straggler pigs left behind. Same thing applies if you don't break the first block. You can see here there's a big group of pigs just stuck waiting to path up because I didn't break this block. Now in Safe Boomer, a lot of people say you should break this far block instead. This could be a skill issue for me. When I break that block, they struggle to path up to the top level and I get a lot of late pigs. Even top runners like hacks use that other block, which I have problems with, so I'm not really sure what I'm doing wrong. But if you want to test it yourself, feel free. This next route is called Boomer Route. It's the exact same with a few tweaks, and I'm going to show you a few more techniques in this one that are a bit more advanced. Collect this gold block and then jump and place dirt while you're in the air for this one. Quickly convert one of them to gold, but offhand the other gold block. This is important. You can jump across the pillars this time and still mine the same block. The second block that you break I showed in Safe Boomer is the one that you use for Boomer every time. You're going to mine it, place the gold, and mine it again to aggro all the pigs. Be ready to throw gold ingots to distract them. Mine through the wall, and throw a lot of gold ingots here as to not take damage. This is quite difficult because the pigs can start to push you, but don't be afraid to throw more gold. Make sure you get that bridge across, it's really important. Finish it like Safe Boomer. Now, trust me, I know how crazy this route looks. It's insanely difficult, and you're very unlikely to do it without taking a hit. If you can, you're probably not watching this video. The key takeaways if you're learning this route, you have to be very quick swapping to the gold and kind of preemptively throw it before the pigs already aggro on you. There's not really many more tips I can give you other than just practice makes perfect for it. And quite honestly, you're only saving a few seconds with this version of the route. If it's worth it for you to save those few seconds, then absolutely, I think it's worth it to learn it, but... Or also, if you're just somebody who likes min-maxing everything that you do, this route is probably for you as well, but... Quite honestly, if you're just the average speedrunner looking to perfect your PB, like if you have like a 10-20 minutes PB, you don't learn this. If you've traded all the gold and you still have bad trades where you don't get all the pearls you need or string, anything you really might need to finish the game, you have to come back down here across the bridge once again. If you're planning on going back up to trade, you can throw your pearl up there and turn your render distance down to 2. Then simply just pearl or boat to the bottom, and you can collect all the gold from down here. This is also necessary if you haven't found the fortress because you mine through this block and break the spawner, which allows you to go to the fortress with the pie chart. Drop down here and you have to deal with these pigs before you mine the gold. Keep in mind when you mine the gold, ones above you can get aggroed as well. A cool trick to deal with the pigs is to find this block in the middle of the platform somewhere. It'll be by itself. Build towards the platform by 2 and then throw something golden on it. When you mine the gold, the pigs that drop from above you should redirect onto that and focus on it for now. Once they're focused on it, you can easily just hit them into the lava with one hit. When you're ready to leave, turn your render distance back up and it should teleport you to where you threw your pearl. This pearl hang method can be used to just do the spawner, or like I said, you can continue your trades from here. Something to be aware of is that this rampart can be filled with lava. If this happens and you're unable to access the trading hole in the right rampart, just connect the two like you did before. You can even do it in this right side and just mine through these 2 blocks if you want to do it a little safer so the pigs don't get hit in the lava. And then use this rampart to do your trading hole. Then block it off at the top to get the other gold. Other routes do exist, but these are the only ones I've ever seen people use. So hopefully you learned something whether you're beginner or advanced. And thank you for watching, appreciate it.